live worldwide. Let's first welcome to the ring, Brandon Bulletproof Glanton.
I ain't no other route, I did it my way. Ain't no win, but I knew we would make it someday.
Well, there's a super collection of hors d'oeuvres in terrific matches that could top any arena bill. And we kick off with a couple of cruiserweight crackers. Here comes the moody, opinionated, and ultra-confident Brandon Glanton. Former decent-level American football player who swapped gridiron for gloves at the age of 21. He's had 22 professional fights and entering the big boxing stage, and a jump he believes he's more than ready for. He's a huge puncher, he's outspoken, and at times he's been nasty this week. He predicts he'll destroy Billam Smith, and that Team Bulletproof will become a force to be reckoned with, Darren.
Well, look, you said it there, big punching. 17 knockouts from the 20 wins, so if he's got a chance, it's with that power that he carries, and he's full of self-confidence, a very good fighter.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the gentleman, Billam Smith.
Welcome to the jungle. King of this your blood, welcome to the rumble. Every man for himself, Coco be wearing a square, you know. Inside the square circle, cuz curb your trust for killers and robbers and servers up. Snakes in the grass, get the turf a cut.
Looks incredibly intense, doesn't he? It's a crucial night in the busy 8-year career of the gentleman. He's intelligent, personable, a family man, and a pretty hot chess player too. He needs to be on his A game tonight in the ring. CBS seeking a little redemption. 84% in the fan zone are with him tonight. He had that unification defeat to Zerdo Ramirez last November. And we need the sort of performance, Barry, the solid one that we expect from this guy.
Yeah, I remember when he won his world title, a lot of people said they were surprised that he got there, but you look at his resume, I think he was groomed to get to a world title. He really had apprenticeship to get to that level. When he got to a Bonzacoli, he looked fantastic. If he can produce that sort of performance tonight, he's back on the road to a world title charge again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fatal Fury, a great night of championship boxing from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in Tottenham, London, England. It is all being brought to you by Ring Magazine and SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, with Ben Shalom for Boxer, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, and Box Raw, along with their great sponsors. Public Investment Fund, Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the national airline of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Malaf Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, and HC, Jacko, Sky, Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. A big thanks to those great sponsors. We get things started with 12 rounds scheduled in the cruiserweight division. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge Mick Collier, timekeeper Stephen Pucci. The judges assigned will be all from England. Lee Every, John Latham, and Kieran McCann. Our referee in charge will be Mark Bates of England. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing a white with orange and black and weighed in officially at 199.5 pounds. Coming to us from Atlanta, Georgia, USA, he brings a professional record of 20 wins, 2 defeats, 17 of his 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Highly ranked by all major sanctioning bodies and number 8 by Ring Magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brandon Bulletproof Glanton. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 199 pounds. His professional record consists of 20 wins, 2 defeats, with 13 of his 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked number 2 by Ring Magazine, he is the former WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World and the fighting pride of Bournemouth, England. Here is the gentleman, Chris Billam Smith.
Okay, gentlemen, listen, I've spoken to you both in the dressing rooms, so you know what's expected. Keep your punches up, obey my commands, and protect yourselves at all times. Good luck to you both, gents. Touch gloves.
First of the important 14 Zone 4 meetings on this huge night. And it's a crunch cruiserweight clash at world level, pitting former champion, Britain's highly regarded Chris Billam Smith against this man, the dangerous loose cannon American in Brandon Glanton. 17 KO wins. He's lost a couple of fights, but narrowly, and he promises he will blaze through the defenses of Chris Billam Smith. CBS with the pedigree and the know-how. But how, Darren, does he respond to what happened to him in Saudi?
I just think, first off, just get into this fight, get behind the jab. It's a nice shot of his. I also like the left hook of Chris Billam Smith. We've already seen now there's no feeling out process whatsoever from Glanton, looking to land heavy shots. So the left hook is there for Chris Billam Smith. For Glanton, just keep this pressure up. This is your moment. This is the fight to change your life. Leave it all in the ring.
Work from Chris Billam Smith inside, and it is a very small ring, as Carl was highlighting a little earlier, set up for Team Ben really later on, but Brandon Glanton might like this. Chris Billam Smith may well, Barry, have to fight up close and personal at times.
Yeah, but Billam Smith is adapted fighting up close. You know, he was a big guy who maybe would prefer to work behind the jab. He's used to having wars and having wars from early on. So for Glanton, obviously aggression and a fast start is important, but he has to make sure he picks his shots well, because if he's not having an effect here on Billam Smith, he's the one who's going to tire first, and Billam Smith, we know, has a fantastic engine.
Good engine, 13 knockouts as well. It's been a fascinating career for the man from Bournemouth. But I've been spending quite a lot of time with Brandon Glanton this week, and he really fancies his chances. Good work from Billam Smith in the opener. There's the class, the extra zip and quality maybe from Billam Smith.
And it's when it's kept long, Adam. He needs to keep him on the end of these long levers. I don't think he needs to be trading this early on. This is exactly what Glanton will want in the early stages. He's been fired up in the build-up, but he's really got the bit between his teeth. Has Chris Billam Smith. I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, Barry, and he really wants to right the wrong from that last fight.
Good body shot, though, from Glanton there. Just caught him with one and tries another. And Billam Smith just has to eat a couple of punches here. Ramirez got through those defenses in that unification, and I think Glanton just fancies that he can march through Billam Smith.
But Billam Smith has to fire back, and you know he knows he's going to be pushed back by Glanton, and it's the right work here from Glanton. He'll stay low, get that head nice and low, keep throwing punches, even when you low punch over the top. But if Smith doesn't fire back, he's going to be overwhelmed here and an easy target to hit, so he has to fire back. Give Glanton something to think about.
Body shot from Billam Smith. Great action in this first round. And let's hope this is a sign of things to come all the way through. Uppercut from Smith, back from Glanton. What a 3 minutes of boxing to kick off tonight.
What is the most powerful?
Okay? Stay relaxed. Okay? Yeah? All okay?
Yeah.
Watch him fucking putting that head in, mate. Yeah, don't give him none of that, alright? Make sure you're taking a side, okay? Don't load up. You're going big on your first shot. A little bit more jabs, alright? Doesn't have to be punching them off him on your jab, just a little feed him jabs. Feed him jabs. You know it always draws that lead.
30 seconds.
As soon as you draw the lead, you be nice and relaxed there, alright? And then just boom, catch on afterwards, catch and then respond on the second phase, yeah? Don't have to punch with it, okay?
Wow, what a first round that was. I mean, both landing huge shots. And there was just glimpses there, just at the end, the cleaner work, when he kept it long and the right uppercut followed by the left hook. Very eye-catching shots from Chris Billam Smith.
What a first 3 minutes for the first Ring Magazine event here, live on DAZN at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Brandon Glanton's really fired up here. Bulletproof from Atlanta, Georgia. Both of them have got identical records. They've won 20 of 22, but Billam Smith, of course, the world champion, who's been in with them all and has that teak tough experience. He's 34 now. Glanton a year younger in the white, black and orange, and physically just so strong, and that's the former NFL player, I guess.
I just like to see Glanton, when he does push Billam Smith back, being pushed back himself here, but when he pushes Billam Smith back, not to stand right in front of him, that's allowing Smith a chance to work away as well, respond. So when he gets him close, just take a little step to the right, it opens him up for that left uppercut through the middle, gives him a different angle of attack.
I think he's got to throw the jab to the body as well. You're just seeing him there, he just caught Billam Smith as he was leaning back. But I think when you're the shorter fighter, you don't want to be predictable with that lead hand, but I always like to see the shorter fighter target that body with the jab. Then you can fire upstairs with the right hand.
Right hand from Billam Smith there, trading blows very early on in this 12-rounder.
The right hand to the body there from Smith, nice long straight right hand.
Well, they're both going downstairs early. Glanton, one of his defeats was to David Light, good name, and did have him hurt as well at the end of that one. He sticks around Brandon Glanton and these big looping hooks, but the quality from Billam Smith still, and seeking out the uppercut as Glanton comes in.
But again though, Glanton landed with a lovely right cross there, just hit around the target and just held his feet and allowed Billam Smith to fire back with a left hook of his own.
That David Light fight that you mentioned, Adam Smith, he had success, Light, when he was keeping it long, getting him behind the jab.
But he hasn't got the room here, Billam Smith, and he just looks a little tired there. A couple of uppercuts from Glanton and a body shot went in as well, and Billam Smith just leaning on Glanton. And is this just working into the traps of the American, the strong aggressor?
But Billam Smith hasn't got the footwork of a Light either. He's never on the balls with his feet. He's always working with the more flat-footed work here, but it's good work. Again, just a little bit longer, three-quarter range here from Smith, more effective.
Yes, good cluster from Chris Billam Smith. Who's going to hurt the other Darren here? That's the key question. But he can't keep this up for 12 rounds.
Well, look, it's going to be a big test of their condition in their training camp. Big left hook from Glanton there, jumped right into that shot.
And a right hand there from Glanton, just staying nice and low when he throws his punches.
I'm bleeding. No, you good.
That two over the top is there.
Got the piece bucket. A little bit water. Deep breath. Open your lung. You good. Open your lung. Okay? Here you go. Up. Wash your mouth. Hold here. Breathe.
Melvin Diaz in the Glanton corner.
wasting all your energy trying to push him off you.
Shane
If he's
McGuigan's
leaning
voice.
in, you just literally just move him. Just use his momentum against him. You don't need to try and drain that out of him. All right?
10 seconds.
Okay? You're throwing too many right hands.
Round 3.
Well, a fabulous, fiery start to this cruiserweight battle between Chris Billam Smith from Dorset. Lit up the Bournemouth area for some time, hasn't he? Great character in British boxing. In with Brandon Bernard Glanton from Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up wanting to be an NFL player, didn't quite work out, so became a fighter. And he's not a bad one. 20 wins. He's looking for victory number 21. Has to weed up a right hand from Billam Smith. It's meaty, hard work early.
Oh, he just rocked him there, I think.
I tell you what, he's backing up what he said, Glanton. He said he was going to do this. He's come out with real ambition, spite, loading up with a lot, I must say.
Still, occasionally the extra quality you feel is with Chris Billam Smith, but these lumping, large punches from Glanton look heavy and hurtful, and a left hook there nearly takes Billam Smith off his feet. He's part of Team Eubank here, Glanton, and that's a good sign for what's going to happen later on.
See, Billam Smith's landing with the straight punches, but then he's holding his feet. He can't be afraid to take a step back for him to go forward, so just throw that 1-2, take a little step back, and then engage again with a bit more length in your shots.
Reddening around the left eye, Chris Billam Smith, who walks into a hook come jab, and he just looks down at Barry McGuigan, who's right behind us, bellowing out support. As always, Barry living and breathing every moment of his fight as he just looks tired, hands down at Billam Smith, gets body shots home, and he's digging deep early, and a right hand back from Glanton.
Yeah, they were two good rights to the body there. I just like to see Chris Billam Smith just keep it long. Certainly in these early stages, Shane McGuigan saying in the break, you're wasting rather too much energy pushing Glanton off. Just keep the shots long. The jab's so important. If you're Glanton, you just got to keep this up, keep that pressure, keep the variation. And I've been calling for the left hook of Chris Billam Smith, the left hook of Glanton. That's a very effective weapon.
And that was good, a second goal from there from Glanton, for the right hand over the top and then left hook to the body. And a good combination there from Glanton. Digging down on these shots.
Really is, putting everything into them. Right hands from Billam Smith, one straight low, but frenetic action in the first 3 rounds. Another right from Billam Smith, and this is great. What a cracker.
What an opener. I mean, I did think this could be the sleeper on the card. Two big cruiserweights, Glanton with the power.
No one's sleeping watching this. Absolutely fantastic. Don't take your eyes off it. One of these big hooks could just have a real effect. Glanton living up to his name. I'm going to bring in Ring Magazine's very own Mike Coppinger. A pleasure to have you. Mike, how are you seeing it after 3 rounds? It's great stuff.
Yeah, and this has been an amazing fight, and I think Billam Smith is up 2-1 after 3, but that was Brandon Glanton's best round by far. He only did a few big right hands, and I want to see how Billam Smith's face is going to hold up as this fight goes on, because it's coming off that tough loss to Zurdo Ramirez, and he was bloody, he was cut, he was swollen, so we'll see how it goes.
It's an amazing start to Ring Magazine's first night here at Tottenham. I mean, if it's going to go on like this, we're in for a right treat.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is a great fight, and Glanton obviously stepping way up in class. He's never faced anybody like this. Billam Smith, the former champion, and I think Glanton's really representing himself very well so far.
Totally agree, Mike. He's been confident all week, Glanton. A little unsavoury down in some of the comments, but he did apologise.
Yeah, he did get a bit carried away, and it's not nice to hear some of the comments that he did say. But I tell you what, he is backing up a lot of those words, saying that he was going to rip up the script and really send the Bournemouth faithful home in tears.
Barry, who's this favouring more at this stage? Right hand from Billam Smith, both having their successes.
It was always going to be Glanton early, you know, who's going to have more success because of the physical strength he has, but it's certainly his sort of fight. just Billam Smith has obliged him by standing and trading with him, not trying to move his feet. He's not a dancer, he's not a on his toes type of guy, but he can use the jab and create a bit of space, and he's not looking to do that. He's trying to push Glanton back, and that's allowing Glanton there to unload with, for me, the heavier shots of the two. And I think, though, as Mike said in that last round, that was Glanton's best round because his punches started to take a little bit of an effect.
Yeah, the uppercut from both here, a shot that needs to be thrown. We see Billam Smith, both exchanging left hooks. He needs to get off the rope here. Billam Smith, try and circle back to the centre of the ring. But yeah, the uppercut's inside, I think, for both. A shot that they're certainly going to have success with, I believe.
He needs to get lower there, Glanton, now. He's walking forward, just get a little bit lower, bend those knees. Give Smith a smaller target to hit.
And there's an opportunity there for Billam Smith. After that right to the body, throw the right uppercut. Doing the right thing there, just circling back to the centre of the ring. Oh, lovely jab, though, from Glanton.
Barry McGuigan really shouting out support to Chris Billam Smith. Here I've seen Alamazine come to ringside, Caroline Dubois, Ben Whittaker's over there. Everybody wants to be here tonight for this mega matchup with Eubank Jr. and Ben, but we've got so much to get through first. Live on DAZN here, Chris Billam Smith and Brandon Glanton getting us off to an absolute stormer.
He's just waiting too long to let that jab go there, Smith. Glanton can't believe it. He just can't believe his luck, Glanton. He's just allowed to get so close without any real danger before he gets there. Okay, Smith lands with some good shots, but they're in close, but that's Glanton's fight. He thought he was going to have problems getting to the target, and he hasn't at all.
Like the small ring, which they set up for Team Ben, is favouring Glanton here as he just tries to rough his way through and back up Billam Smith on these ropes, and that's not where the Bournemouth man wants to be.
He doesn't need to be. As Barry said, look, he's never been a fleet-moving sort of fighter, footed fighter as Billam Smith, but he's got the opportunity with the momentum of Glanton coming forward here, just to take half a step back and walk the American onto the shots.
Come on. Relax. Okay, in the next round, no anymore, okay? 2 pieces, minimum 2 pieces. Pressure, come the ring, pressure to the rope.
Lover Diaz, Kenny Cherry in there.
Angles when he pushes. Bro, you boxing beautiful, bro. Educated jab. You're knocking his head back. You're winning these rounds. Keep it up. Keep it up, bro. You're winning these rounds. But look. Don't fall in. That 1-2 is there.
His Excellency has arrived. Terrific to see Turkey Al Sheikh here at Tottenham. And what a stadium he's going to walk into and enjoy tonight. And it's not just tonight. Friday, May 2nd, Times Square, New York. Ring Magazine's second event. And then the following night, we're in Riyadh for Canelo Alvarez. It is all go in the next 7-8 days. Live on DAZN.
Incredible, what a schedule. We've just seen here a little bit more discipline shown from Billam Smith. He's trying to move a little, keep it long, try and walk Glanton onto the shots. Down to now the American Glanton, just to be a bit sharper with his feet. It's not going to be as easy now. If he adopts this game plan, Billam Smith, he's going to have to be sharper with the footwork.
He won 11 before that Ramirez fight, Billam Smith. He was in real form. And he's just re-establishing himself here, but he's just not picked an easy man, has he? It's a tough fight, this.
It is a tough fight, but I think it was always going to be a tough fight, but for tactically to get it right, I think it was, for him, an easy fight to train for. Because you know exactly what Glanton's going to do. To stop him from doing it's another thing, but you know what he's going to be, you know what he's going to try and do. So surely the game plan was to sort of like push him back with the jab or keep him at bay with that left hand, and it hasn't worked and he hasn't used it enough. But Glanton's been good tonight. He's trying to get low as much as he can, and those right hands over the top have been really, really impressive.
And the game plan on the flip side would have been exactly this from Glanton. Try and get as close as possible to land the big shots.
And it's what he's doing. He's trying to deny Billam Smith any room. There was a body shot that went in. He's landed a few CBS, but it hasn't seemed to have had a lot of effect on Glanton yet, but may do as the rounds tick by.
Yeah, I just think he needs more variation with the shot after that right to the body. The right to the body's landing every time he throws it. Just like to see him screw the uppercut through afterwards. The elbows go wide. He's trying to protect himself with that left elbow, Glanton, to stop the body shot landing. That's when the elbows flare open. That's where you land the uppercut.
Glanton throws that jab to the body and whips that right hand over the top. I can't see how he misses.
It's pretty calm still, doesn't he, in Glanton, in the biggest fight of his life, and a thumping hook again.
Couple of good body shots off Smith just before that, and again
these body shots will be money in the bank, but back comes Glanton, and a great shot from Billam Smith as the two open up. Back comes Glanton, and somehow the two of them stay on their feet. 15 seconds left in the 5th round, and it's another explosive bit of action.
A good shot there from Glanton, lovely right hand.
Living up to expectations, this cruiserweight cracker, Chris Billam Smith and Brandon Glanton. He looks tired in the corner.
Knocking this guy out, beat him up. You keep doing that, as the rounds go on, you'll start getting to him, I'm telling you. All right? Breathe. Don't let him have those streets when you're against the ropes.
Yeah. Against
right?
Rolly Romero.
Keep your hands on the inside.
Powered by
there.
Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, Times Square, iconic Friday,
Now,
May the
every time you
2nd.
feint,
And
you
then
go feint by
Canelo
hand.
putting his undisputed
Feint.
super
Feint.
middleweight
Left hook.
titles on the
Left
line
hook.
against
Left hook.
undefeated William Skull. By separately or together. It's a knockout weekend bundle. DAZN.com/boxing to find out more. Meanwhile, what an order. What a starter here, Barry Jones.
It's been a fantastic fight at a frantic pace as well. But Glanton sort of fight. I think Smith has landed some quality shots. You see it there, lovely right hand, but then repaid from a better right hand, I thought, there from Glanton.
Only the 94th round of Brandon Glanton's professional career. Chris Billam Smith almost had 160, and he's fought at a much higher level. Those battles with Richard Riakpo, Masternak, Isaac Chamberlain, so many. Can Glanton keep this going, this persistent aggression? And is he winning rounds?
Glanton.
Let's bring in Mike Coppinger.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. I've given Glanton the last 3 rounds. I gave Billam Smith the first 2. I've been very impressed with Brandon Glanton on his first real step on the world stage. Odds makers actually saw this fight pretty much dead even, and the fight's played out just like that. And you see Glanton going down there, but I think Glanton's done a great job of smothering Billam Smith's shots and not allowing him to generate any leverage.
Very well said, Mike Coppinger. Glanton surely getting the last couple of rounds or so. Billam Smith maybe with the quality earlier, but this Glanton performance is revving up. He's not slowing down even with these body shots. And the American is on a mission here.
But look how important it is. When Glanton stays low, he can throw that combination. He can work up the body with that combination, as he did there. That's a 4 or 5 hook combination just by bending his knees.
Billam Smith doing the wrong thing there, just leaning back on the rope, and that allowed Glanton to find that right hand. You mentioned before about Glanton looking comfortable in there at this step up, and I think he's done that by kind of grabbing the fight by the scruff of the neck, you know, not standing off, not sort of working his way into a fight. He's just literally got straight in there, made himself feel at home.
Good shot there from Smith.
He felt disrespected by Chris Billam Smith when he was over for the Okoli fight. Went to shake his hand, and the gentleman apparently didn't. I think Chris Billam Smith's one of the nicest guys you find in boxing, but hey, you never know. These guys are rivals, but what they're dishing up here is a really good fight.
Landed with it just earlier there, Smith, but at least he's seen it now, and that's going to be an important weapon if he can time Glanton coming in, but he's got to throw that uppercut from the jab.
Look at that. And just kicks his foot back into action there, Brandon Glanton.
Felt that one, Adam.
He did. I think for the first time he did.
And it would be interesting if Billam Smith was to start pushing Glanton back. How would he react?
From Chris Billam Smith, and now he's turned Glanton. And if he can back Glanton up, now that will be a different story. Last 15 of round 6, and Glanton with success of late, but Billam Smith finding these quality punches, and Glanton has put a huge amount into the first half of this. It might come down to who's trained harder and who wants this more. Fascinating first half of CBS and Brandon Glanton.
Speed pocket, speed pocket.
And meanwhile, we have an exciting new feature to tell you about on the DAZN app. Switch between rounds by using Fight Card on your DAZN player. You can relive any of the action you've missed. You can rewatch the best bits again and again throughout the night. Fantastic to see, and look at that from Billam Smith. That was the punch, and you saw the right foot, Barry. A little idiosyncrasy, or
I got to be honest. I thought it was. I think where the printing of Fatal Fury. I think it's that. I think he's maybe half slipped a little bit on that. The shots moved him. I don't think he was hurt.
the printing of Fatal Fury. The City of Wolves and the Ring Magazine event here at Tottenham Hotspur, North London in England. Second half of this cruiserweight fight between Chris Billam Smith, the gentleman, and Brandon Glanton, bulletproof. And that's what he's been really tonight. Heads going in. Might get a ticking off there by Mark Bates. No.
Tell you what, he's shown a bulletproof chin there. They were free now. Beautiful right uppercut from Billam Smith.
They're great shots from Smith, but Glanton now, he's got to learn to adapt. And all he's got to do is start moving his head. He's a stationary tag walking forward, and it's worked for him, but now it's not. And all Smith needs to do is throw that uppercut.
Nice shot from Billam Smith.
He slipped again.
Slipped again, but the shot did land. The boots, have they been scorched properly? They look new.
Yeah, they're not serving him too well, certainly in the centre of the ring there. As Barry said, I do think it's the graphic there, along with some moisture.
The graphic moisture. Now the boots look new, but they can't be slipping here. Doesn't need that. Chris Billam Smith, so experienced at these championship distances. Who's feeling it more, Barry?
Well, Smith, you could clearly see it on their faces, to be honest. But Glanton will be feeling the pace, you know, because he's had to make a real concerted effort to push Smith back. And these body shots will certainly have to start taking effect.
They really do. These body shots, they're sickening. You know, you can do all the body work in the gym, but they take their toll. They really do have them. And these are heavy shots to that left side of Glanton's ribcage.
Right hand uppercut partially blocked from Billam Smith, who's got blood to the nose.
I was going to say Smith's got to start disguising that uppercut, but I've got to be honest, Glanton's not moving his head, so he doesn't have to. He can just keep throwing it at will.
But he's only moving in one direction, Brandon Glanton, and that is forward and with intent.
Which is right, but if he rolls into the shots, if he starts rolling coming forward, he not only evades punches, he gets more leverage on his shots because he gets some rhythm. When he's rolling, he can come back over the top with a whipping left hook.
Billam Smith just caught the eye of Barry McGuigan behind us. He's got Barry's son Shane in the corner as ever. Not many better trainers around the world than Shane McGuigan. What would he be thinking at the moment, Darren?
I'm sure he may be seeing this as well, but I feel like the pop is starting to leave the shots ever so slightly of Glanton. Don't get me wrong, the physical presence is still there, but those shots earlier in the contest don't seem to be there for Glanton anymore. Can Billam Smith start to creep forward, start letting heavy shots go? The right uppercut, he cannot miss with the shot, and those right to the body, are they sapping the tank of Glanton?
Big right hand from Glanton on the bow, but some good body work from Billam Smith in that one.
Just use that range a little bit better. All right, okay? Yeah? Breathe.
Hey, you're breaking this kid down.
You're breaking him up. That's more jabs.
All right. He's giving it to you all the time.
All right. You got a great jab. Use it. Change it up. Low, zoom, shoot it up from low. Boom. All right. Then bang, find the angle on it. Okay. 30 seconds.
What's he coming back with left hook to body?
Every time you throw the right uppercut, he's trying to throw a big boom left hook. Okay.
Well, you can see there, Mike Coppinger, the great action we're getting. Shane McGuigan in the corner wants Billam Smith to use his jab. It's not really worked for him tonight, has it?
No, it hasn't, but what has worked, Adam, is that lead uppercut. He's hurt, I think, Glanton a few times with the shot now, and I want to see how Glanton holds up over the second half of this fight, because it's been a torrid pace, as we know, and Glanton's only been the 12-round distance one time in his career.
How are you scoring it at the moment?
I gave Chris Billam Smith the last 2 rounds, and I have Billam Smith up 4-3 after 7.
So very close on Mike's unofficial card. John Lathan just in front of us. He'll be refereeing Liam Smith's fight later. Lee Every, Kieran McCann are the judges around ringside. What's your sense? As you see there, the shots through 6, more thrown. Billam Smith landed a little bit more. Is he ahead on your card, just Billam Smith?
I'd say ever so slightly out. That I wouldn't be surprised if some of the judges see it the other way. I mean, it's very close so far. The power shots to the head are surprising. Billam Smith landed 71 of those in comparison to 55 of Glanton.
Dana mentioned something interesting in the last round. He said the pops just starting to come out the Glanton's punches. What happens there is then you try and replicate that, and all you do is push the punches, and with pushing the punches takes more energy and tires you out. It's counterproductive. If that happens, that allows Billam Smith to totally take control.
Forcing it.
Yeah, of course, yeah, because you want to keep maintaining the pace. You want to be in charge of the pace, but you can be, when you start pushing your punches, you just tense up, and you tire out quicker. So Glanton's got to be forceful now, but just try and relax those shoulders a little bit and let the punches flow.
Yep, excellent insight analysis there from Barry and Darren, former world champions, of course, who know what it's like this stage of a fight, which is getting hard and tough. And this is a domain that Chris Billam Smith has been in before. Brandon Glanton, much less experienced, as Mike was saying, only been the long distance a couple of times, 10 rounds into the 11th against Alexei Egorov last time out. This is the big chance for Glanton.
And Adam, that's important, that is Smith being here before. You take some solitude from that, because when you're tired, you know what it's like. You know you can see the other side of it, so you can dig deep. When you haven't been there before, doesn't mean you can't do it, but you are asking questions of yourself every time you go into the unknown.
He's grimacing again, Billam Smith. It's rough. He's a hustler, isn't he, Glanton? He won't leave you alone. And what he lacks a little bit in the skills or pedigree department, only turning to the gloves at 21. He makes up for in pure aggression and heart, doesn't he?
But he's got to sustain this, because if he takes his foot off the gas here and he starts stepping back, I'll tell you what, Chris Billam Smith will really seize that and gain a lot of confidence from it.
Nice shot from Billam Smith to end that round, and just a little laboured walk from Brandon Glanton back to the blue corner.
More lighting. Keep moving. They work. You feel good. Flow. Hit it down. Right in the floor.
Good, bro. Good. Be a sucker for that left hook, bro. Bro, when he's
pressure,
yeah,
roll.
Yeah, and then fight him a little bit, bro.
Both sides, put the hand a little bit more steady. But in the inside, okay?
He thinks
Inside combination, okay?
On the outside, throw feints, bro. Throw him off his rhythm, because he thinks he can hit you with that. It's not landing, but they might be counting. Hit them feints. Educated jab, hard jab, back his head up.
Good.
Like he was doing earlier. I think you won that round. Keep it up. Stay busy, hurt him.
think he won that round. Yeah, they'll be worried in the corners who's getting these on the judges' scorecard. Brandon Glanton and Chris Billam-Smith both in fights number 23. Glanton's number 9 in the Ring magazine ratings. Chris Billam-Smith at 2. It's a packed cruiserweight world. Jai Opataya, of course, the main player at the moment. Although Gilberto Ramirez would question that, and Eddie Hearn was saying beforehand that he'll try and get Chris Billam-Smith a fight with Jai Opataya if he comes through it.
And it's the fight he wants. Again, spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and he's desperate to get back fighting for titles. He's had a taste for it. He's been a champion, and he's desperate to recoup and regain a title.
Glanton's got to be careful here. He's starting to prod forward now. I mean, you walk forward at a slower pace. You line yourself up for those longer uppercuts. He did it just then, a second ago, against the ropes there. Billam-Smith had plenty of time to pick the shot that he wanted to throw. Glanton's got to accelerate that pace. It takes a lot of energy, but that's the way he's going to win the fight.
And he's stopped bending his knees now, and that happens when you're tired. You start leaning over the front foot to avoid the shot, so you're rolling lazy. You need to be bending the knees, and he's a real sucker to that right uppercut now, Adam.
That's good work from Chris Billam-Smith, and he's just beginning to impose his strength on Glanton, who looking a little sorry for himself. And the arm punches are very much those. They've lost their snap, and Billam-Smith's got an opportunity here with more space. There's the jab that Shane McGuigan was calling for, and Glanton's got something to do here. This is really uncharted territory for the American.
It's good from Smith, though. He's also taking a little bit of a breather, as Glanton is, and rightly so. They're just using the ring over here. Smith getting a bit of distance to throw his shots.
Look, it does look like he's fatiguing slightly, Glanton, but it doesn't look to me as if he's breathing heavy.
He's still hurling in these hooks when he has Billam-Smith on the ropes, but just centre ring, if Billam-Smith can utilise that jab like that, it's a different picture.
Tell you what, though, missing shots like that make you breathe heavy.
How do you know?
Lovely uppercut from Billam-Smith, and Glanton just giving ground.
He's just too slow in the feet the minute Glanton has to allow Smith just to line him up with shots. This is hard because they're both tired. Someone needs to find that second wind and let the punches go. It's that printing on the...
And look at the difference there, Adam, when he's keeping it long. Billam-Smith, what was it, 3-4 jabs there, then through the right uppercut. He needs to use the space and the slower feet now of Glanton in his favour. Glanton just needs to sharpen up. He needs to find something here, a second wind.
But he's trying, throw combinations, the gum shields out, but not much quality there from Brandon Glanton.
Rounds. Don't let him try and steal rounds.
Did he win that?
No. But don't let him try and steal them. Okay? He's going to try and come on strong, Chris.
He's slow.
Huh?
He's slowing down. He's making this.
He's slowing down. Yeah, make him miss. Exactly. And don't leave every shot in there. All right? Your speed's your best asset. All right? If you try and load up with a guy that's heavy-handed, you literally learn yourself to his level. All right? Come on. Head movement. Breathe. Take the step out. Breathe. Don't pull out. Don't lean back. Yeah. Take the step out. Keep in the centre of the ring. All right. Just have fun with this guy. Pop, pop, left hook, right hand. Pop, left hook, right hand. Then finish on the body. And then get yourself space again. All right. Just get space again. All right.
Don't pull out lead.
There, bang.
Do not pull out lead.
Left hook and then off. Okay. Left hook to the body. Slice it. Then get back on the feet and snap.
Fantastic listening into Shane McGuigan there. Chris wasn't sure whether he'd won that round. I don't think Brandon knew whether he had. It's that sort of a fight, but the feeling is that Billam-Smith started strong. Brandon Glanton piled up some rounds, but Mike Cottinger, Chris Billam-Smith seems to have had it back under control now.
Yeah, Adam, I think Billam-Smith has won the last 5 rounds, maybe 4 rounds, I should say. But really, like you said, there's been a lot of difficult to score rounds. I expect scores to be all over the place. But down the stretch now, I think Billam-Smith is showing the gap in class between the two fighters. And I think we're starting to see Brandon Glanton really follow Billam-Smith around the ring more and walk into a lot of these shots, particularly the uppercut.
Shane McGuigan's right, exactly what you said in the corner there. You can have a bit of fun with this. Look, you need to stay disciplined, switched on and focused, but he's walking forward with no real pace. There are openings in defence. So you just pick the shots, you walk him on to absolutely everything, like that right uppercut. On the flip side, if you're Glanton, everything just needs to be a bit sharper. The feet, the hands, you don't have to be clumsy like this, that's just playing into Billam Smith's hands.
He moved his upper body there for a second there, Glanton, and just gave up on the idea. He needs that second win here now, Glanton, or he's going to be in trouble, I feel.
They're losing these rounds now. Brandon Glanton, look at Chris Billam Smith, he's got that extra bit of zest about him, he's finding room, he's utilising his skills and all that experience that he's got. He can't afford another defeat after that Ramirez loss, really, at this stage in his career. He knows that. It's a must-win, really, and he's going the right direction now.
Credit to Glanton, though. He does not want to take a back step. I mean, it's not working in his favour, just walking onto another right hook there, but he's still trying, isn't he? It's just that, look, if I was him, I would throw less shots, but the shots you do throw with more meaning. Got to be sharp, the jab to the body, look for the right hand over the top. He's making this far too easy for Chris Billam Smith at the minute.
But if he doesn't get low, he can't win the last few rounds. He's got to get low again. He's got to engage those muscles in the legs, which are going to tire him out. But bending those legs isn't an explosive movement to close the target. Get to the target quicker.
I'm not sure he can, Barry, at this stage of the fight. He put so much into the first half.
But Adam, sorry, Adam, you'll see the finishing. Now, in the next 2 rounds, you'll see the finishing line. So that usually gives you a little bit of an adrenaline rush to maybe just push forward.
These body shots of Billam Smith that continue to go in. Remember them from a few rounds ago. And as hard as he's prepared, Brandon Glanton, you can't train for that. And Billam Smith now asserting his control. And Glanton running out of time. He's got a couple of rounds where he's going to have to throw everything at CBS. How are the judges seeing it? Billam Smith seems more in cruise control now.
6 minutes.
What do you say?
6 minutes. You need to put everything.
They with him with punches, Jay said. You got 6 minutes, stay with him.
6 minutes now, okay? You need to put everything in
They
now.
with him with punches, Jay. 6 minutes to break him down. It's hurt, body, head. Miss making pay. That's it. 6 minutes to change your life.
He's going now with the 2 or with the open.
6 minutes to change your life. It,
1, 2, step back.
it wasn't a Teddy Atlas, Michael Morris sort of moment, that. But
Straight to the point.
yeah. Maybe that'll come after the 11th round. 6 minutes to go. Chris Billam Smith looking to get his career very much back on track against Brandon Glanton. It's been an absolutely ferocious battle from the off, especially the first half of this, which was fought at an electric pace. And both of them shipped a lot of punishment, but class is beginning to tell.
It's turned out into a Billam Smith fight. You know, is he ever in an easy fight? I can't remember him being in one. This is the way he does his business. But Glanton's played his part, certainly in the early rounds. He had to gamble tiring out to be effective in those early rounds, Glanton. So he sort of fought the right fight. He just ran a little few of ideas and energy with his feet, and that's what's cost him, for me, in the second half of the fight.
Just loaded up with some of the shots too much and missing like hooks like that. They really do empty the tank, but you have to commend his desire. This was his big opportunity. Still time to change his life. As they said in the corner there,
I got a feeling all week that he was here to change his life. Trained incredibly hard. Came to England early because of the jet lag issue, the man from Atlanta. And he has given it his absolute all. He's tested Billam Smith.
and credit to Billam Smith as well. Look, he didn't want to take a back step early on. He wanted a mixed fire with fire. He wanted to be the boss. But as the rounds progressed, he just regrouped, didn't he? He showed us a bit of discipline. He showed us something else, another string to his bow.
Clean right hand from Billam Smith with his back to the ropes. Just that extra quality, the pedigree. 30 knockouts between them. So we could have some late drama here, especially if Glanton gets those arms flowing again.
I think Smith's using the ropes actually very, very well. Take a little lean back just to give Trey a little space there to get those straighter shots in. But I think it's all to do with Glanton just slowing down a bit, and Smith just being allowed that, afforded that time just to pick his shots a little bit better. And you're right, that class and that experience is coming into play here in the championship rounds.
He hasn't looked happy all through the fight though, CBS, has he?
No, I think there's been some subtle use of the head from Glanton. He's not liked it, Billam Smith. As he sort of rolls under, you've seen him grimace a couple of times. But I tell you what, this has been a solid workout. You know, someone like Billam Smith, he didn't want to walk. He probably actually would have liked to walk in the park. When you could be campaigning at the level he had, it's important that you're tested.
Beautiful body shot and an uppercut from Chris Billam Smith. He's picked these punches, ladies, complaining about the head again, but you know what? He's a battler, the Bournemouth man. And Glanton just Barry trying everything.
They were quality, a right uppercut, left hook, and then it emphasised, so Glanton threw a left hook and missed by a country mile. And again, as Darren knows a lot about missing shots, and that's going to tire your tank.
His Excellency has just come at ringside, and Mike Coppinger, I want to see how you're seeing this just going into the last round.
Yeah, Adam, I think going into this final round, I have it 7-3, Chris Billam Smith. Brandon Glanton was really good over the first half, but he's fallen off over the second half now, and he's going to need something big in this final round to really win this fight. It was his last fight, actually, that he scored an 11th round knockout of Alexei Agorov, and this is going to be his first time ever entering the 12th round, Adam.
And we've got an Ed Sheeran lookalike. We've got the Hannibal Lecter at ringside.
We've had David Beckham.
We've had everything. This a fantastic assortment of ring card characters.
I thought Hannibal Lecter was meant to be me. Is that Hannibal Lecter? Oh, never.
You in 20 years.
It's brilliant. We got David Beckham, AJ, I think, has been represented as well. Anthony Hopkins, big fight fan, by the way. We're expecting some real celebs here tonight. I've seen Gordon Ramsay's name behind me, Declan Rice, plenty of the footballers are going to be packed around you, Darren and Barry.
Mike's walking around, everyone thinks he's my son. Have a great time.
I'm not going to lie, I was looking over before and I thought that was the real Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Ed will come. We expect him possibly for Fabio Wardley, June the 7th. Big Ipswich fan, of course, Ed Sheeran. Heavyweight boxing, heavyweight nights on DAZN. Last round here. 2 minutes 20 for Brandon Glanton to change his life forever. He's got rounds here tonight, but we feel just not enough.
Yeah, it was the way Billam Smith, former world champion, has just regrouped, got into his groove, but you cannot disregard the intent, the desire shown from Brandon Glanton. From that first bell, it has not stopped. Yes, the pace has slowed. The snap, the power left his shots around the midway point, but he's kept ploughing forward. He's kept trying.
He's got a bit of a sprinter step here in this last round, Glanton. I think he needed that in the 11th round. And then some momentum into this last round then makes it a closer fight.
Walking through walls at times. Glanton, you've got to give him so much credit for the way he's gone about this. No title on the line, but it's almost like his world challenge here, Brandon Glanton, and he'll come again if, as we feel, CBS will get the decision. Billam Smith, who's won at Bournemouth, he's won at Selhurst Park, a third stadium fight on the road, and he looks like he's eking it out here.
But look how much time he had there to whip that uppercut in the first one for sure. He almost bowled it into play there. Oh, he's boxed well here, Billam Smith, especially the second half when Glanton slowed down. He's picked his shots well. He hasn't gone gung-ho or put his foot too much on the pedal. Just made sure he was winning the rounds enough and still maintaining to keep his energy for the later rounds.
Okay, boys. And again, take a step back,
Last 45 seconds of what's been a great opener here in the cruiserweight division. Another cruiserweight fight coming up next with Chev Clark and Vidal Riley. The 14 stone 4 division is alive and well. Brandon Glanton is going to come again, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I paid to watch him fight. He brings the action, he brings the pace, and 100% for sure he will learn bundles from this fight against a top-class cruiserweight, former world champion Chris Billam-Smith.
Yeah, he's been a revelation, I think, Glanton here. You know, he fought the right fight, he just ran out of steam. That's what happens, he had to do that. But he's been dangerous throughout, and a good showing, but Smith just slightly better.
Nasty words from Brandon Glanton in the build-up, but I think there'll be real respect between these two when the bell goes. And there is. I think Chris wants an apology. He sort of got one at the press conference. But they've got to have respect, these two gladiators. Really good, hard-fought 12 rounds. And I think they'll end up mates.
Listen, I apologise for that. Okay, I honestly apologise. I apologise too. I didn't see it. When the kids are watching us, it wasn't before.
Yep, there's apologies. Chris saying, I think he didn't see the hand for the handshake in Bournemouth, and the smiles are coming.
Documentary. So I apologise. Let's show everyone watching.
They've given it everything, these two cruiserweights. Brandon Glanton's covered himself in glory, despite what he said this week. There's the hug of respect. Chris Billam-Smith will surely get it. And will he get this? A shot at Jai Opetaia, who's back to headline his second pay-per-view on DAZN in 2025. That spectacular knockout of David Anika in January. He faces the undefeated Italian Claudio Cacchio back in the Gold Coast in May. Chris Billam-Smith up on the ring ropes. He's celebrating, and we're pretty sure at ringside he's done enough to get his career right back on track and to be knocking at the door of another world title tilt.
Tony, Carl, take us through that round by round. How did you see this one?
I have it close. I know the boys have Billam-Smith in front, but I could see this being as tight as a draw. Really, really close, I thought. But Glanton started strong. Billam-Smith looked exhausted from the end of round one, and I mean he showed so much bravery to stay in there. There was a period in the fight, kind of midway point, I thought that he might get knocked out. He looked really, really exhausted, but as tough as old boots, and fair play to him. But I still had the fight close.
I'll be fair, I agree with all what Carl said. Glanton started the better of the two, landed the more hurtful punches, and I actually thought after 2 rounds Chris Billam-Smith was done. He looked exhausted. Yeah. It looked like he'd had a really long, hard camp, but he showed his experience midway through the fight, nicked a few rounds from being 6 to 10, got a couple of them, but if I'm being totally honest, if I had to pick a winner here, I was edging towards Glanton, just on the fact he walked forward all night and looked like he'd done the more hurtful punches, but you know, it's just one of them fights where it's a really hard fight for both fighters, and if anything, I edge towards Glanton, which I'm gutted about because I like Chris Billam-Smith.
Well, guys, we're about to find out. We're about to make it official. Thomas Schreiber is in the middle of the ring and is about to tell us who's.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge John Latham scores it 116 to 113. And both judges Lee Every and Kieran McCann are in agreement. They both score it the same, 116 to 112. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. The gentleman, Chris Billam-Smith.
By 4 on 2 cards and by 3 on the other, and it's all smiles from Brandon Glanton. Chris Billam-Smith comes through a heavy, tough, grueling slog of a fight, but his talent and his class and his experience really got him through for the win that he needed.